Hello, 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 and welcome, my art-loving friends. I am Deborah Kay, and I am so excited to share this tutorial with you. Today, we're going to paint this festive Christmas candle jar. It's really easy, and it is super cute. Make sure to stick around because I'm going to share some really helpful craft tips and some tools that I found. And also, I want to share some great health information I've learned about candles. Here's my recipe. You can pause here to gather what you need, or just refer to the list in the description area below this video. So get all your goodies together and let's go make the magic happen as we paint with a passion. I'm using a 7-ounce glass candle jar. I ordered a case of these and they're fairly inexpensive. And I picked this particular jar because I like the size, and most important, I like that it's made for heat and specifically for candles. Let's wipe down the jar using some rubbing alcohol and a lint-free cotton or cloth swipe. Just make sure that we get all of our fingerprints and oils off before we start painting. You can repurpose old jars you have, but just make sure that they can be baked in your oven and they can withstand the heat of a burning candle. So if you're going to repurpose a jar, I recommend testing it in the oven and burning a candle in it before you begin the painting process. Here's some of the paint I'm going to use, and it's important that you use the right type of paint and that you follow the curing instructions that are provided by the manufacturer. We're going to use the stippling technique to apply our base coat. Stippling, stippling, stippling. I know. I just love saying that word. Now this part of the video is a little out of order, but I wanted to show you how I made the cradle to hold the jar and keep it from rolling. Just take a towel and roll each side up and then place the jar in the center. And make sure that you remove any fuzzies or cat hair before you start painting. I'm going to use a stencil to trace on the fireplace opening, and I'm using some painting tape to hold it in place. My jar has 2 seams, so I want to make sure that those are on the sides of the jar and not down the center where we're going to draw the fireplace opening. Whoops, I kind of got off camera there, didn't I? Now let's use a dry erase marker to trace the stencil to create the fireplace opening. And just make sure to wipe off your stencil afterwards. Now let's clean the glass all around the outside of the arch we just drew on. Just one more time to make sure we didn't leave any oil from our fingers. And now we're going to stipple on the brick background colors all around the outside of the arch we just drew. And we just want to make sure to leave the center blank because that's our fireplace opening. Make sure to use a palette that allows enough room so that you can add 2 or 3 pools of paint right next to each other. And make sure to pick up all the colors that you're using and then just dab all around the jar in different directions. I decided to go with brown and gray for my bricks, and that way my red stockings are really going to stand out. You can buy stippling brushes, but I like to use a wide semi-flat makeup brush for this because the bristles are softer and it blends the paint just the right amount. Make sure to check out my Marble Mandala and Autumn Leaf videos for even more stippling instruction. My background definitely needs a second coat. And just use a damp cotton swab to clean up the arch if there's any paint that got in the center. Now let's clean up the top ledge of the jar with a swab and some rubbing alcohol. And now let's paint it in. I'm just using a small brush and a sponge brush, and that way I can sort of get into the crevice there. Okay, once the background is dry, using a small bristle brush, let's add some green garland. I'm separating the bristles a little, so only some of those bristles are going to touch the surface. Now let's load up some green, and then blot it off, and then very lightly just wisp the paint in different directions from the top downwards. And as you work your way around the jar, just be careful not to handle it where the paint's wet or to lay it down on the wet paint. Now, using the same technique, let's use a lighter shade of green and add some highlights all the way around. And one more time, same thing, only this time let's use a much darker green, and this will kind of bring it all together. This already looks pretty great, right? Let's add our archway bricks. Or are they stones? Well, they look like bricks and they look like stones, but I'm gonna go with bricks. Using our super skinny fine linen brushes, let's start at the center of the arch and add a middle square. I chose a medium brown as my mortar color, but you can go lighter or darker. Whatever you choose, it's gonna look great. Then, let's add a square on one side, and then another one on the opposite side, and then just keep alternating sides so that we can keep it even. As you're painting the jar, just remember, take breaks often so that your hand doesn't get tired of holding the jar. And also make sure that you wash out your brush and that you freshen your paint whenever it's needed. Let's add a stocking on each side of the fireplace opening. My stockings definitely need a second coat. Now let's paint on the rest of the bricks. I started out freehand on the front, and then I decided to use the edge of my stencil to pencil on straight lines as a guide for the rest of the bricks. I make my own super skinny fine linen brushes because I have never found a brush that comes skinny enough. And I've included a link in the description area if you'd like to learn how to make your own. The bottom row of bricks is taller and they're a little less wide, so this kind of gives us a hearth, and then it gives the fireplace some dimension. I decided to add a third stocking to the center and have it hang down over the fireplace opening. Now this stocking is going to need multiple thick coats of paint in order to hide the brick lines behind it. Alternatively, you could scrape off the paint first and then add the stocking, or if you're watching this video before painting your jar, just add the stocking before you paint in the bricks. All right, let's get out our dotting tools. Now, using a darker red and the smallest of our large dotting tools, let's add some berries to the garland. You can measure the distance between the clusters of berries if you want to be exact, but I'm just going to wing it. Using one of our skinny brushes, let's add some holly leaves to our berry clusters. Start by painting a small curved line coming out from between two of the berries. And then where that line ends, add another curved line. And then add one more curved line, slightly pulling back towards the center of the leaf. And now, do the opposite direction on the opposite side, and then connect the leaf at the bottom point. Does that make sense? I think it does. I'm going with it. And let's add 2 or 3 leaves to each of the clusters. let's paint on the white stocking trim. And this is going to need a couple coats as well. And I like to smooth it out with a small paint sponge. Now choose one of your smallest dotting tools and let's add some white dots to the berry clusters, and this is really going to highlight them. Wow, that looks so pretty. Now choose a light green and let's add some dots to the holly. This is called walking the dots. Load your tool with paint, then place the first dot, and then without reloading paint, continue dotting down the leaf until you run out of paint or you run out of space or both. Alright, we're done with the painting portion of this tutorial. Now, just follow the instructions on the paint bottle for the curing and the baking, and I will see you when you're ready to put the candle together. Okay, so let's turn our jar into a candle and light it up. I'm adding some sand to the bottom of the jar because the inside isn't flush. But also, I think it's going to look really cool since we didn't paint the bottom of the jar. I don't live close to a beach, so I bought a small bag of sand and I'm using a coffee scoop that has a tamper to level it out. And now, using some tweezers, I'm just going to drop the candle in the center of the sand. I found this really awesome ARC candle lighter that makes it really easy to light a candle down inside a jar. And it charges with USB and it won't burn your hand trying to light the candle down there. And you know what? It just looks so darn cool. I love it. And the only candles I burn nowadays are 100% natural beeswax with no essential oils because of my kitty cats. The essential oils can be very dangerous for them. And these little tea lights are perfect. They burn for 4 hours and they don't leave any residual wax behind. In fact, did you know that beeswax candles are some of the oldest candles in history? I know, I just keep learning all these things during this journey. It's so much fun. But besides being all natural, they are said to possess several health benefits. And I decided to include a few slides at the very end and share what I learned. I want to take a moment to say that I appreciate all of you. You are my painting family now, and family means the world to me. Painting really is my passion, and it's like my great escape from all the crazy in life. Sharing what I love doing with you makes me so happy. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to painting again together real soon. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification button so you know as soon as I have a new project to share. I wish you peace, love and happiness now and always. Oh, and stay tuned. Here's that candle information I promised you.